Some truths don't break your heart. They drain you in one sentence. When my wife told me she planned a surgery that would end any chance of a family, she didn't hesitate. No discussion. No warning. No space for us. Only a decision she made alone, while still calling it our life. In that moment, something inside me shifted. Not because she didn't want children, but because she didn't trust me enough to share the battle happening inside her. When your partner drops a life-changing choice on you without looking back, you start to wonder what else they've kept hidden. And when I told her your decision, she didn't know it was the beginning of mine too. But before I tell you what happened that day, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, and share your thoughts in the comments. Some truths don't break your heart. They drain you in one sentence, leaving you standing in the middle of your own home wondering when your marriage stopped being shared. I watched her place the medical brochure on the table like she was setting down a receipt. No hesitation, no apology. Her eyes stayed steady, almost cold, as if she had already lived this moment without me. "I'm having the surgery," she said. "I booked the appointment yesterday." My throat tightened. She didn't say we. She didn't say I need to talk to you. She didn't even say I'm scared. She spoke like her marriage was a contract she could amend alone. I stared at the brochure. Sterilization. Permanent. Final. Years of conversations, dreams, fears, hopes, all erased with one quiet announcement. I forced my voice steady. Your decision. Her lip twitched, shocked by how easily the words left my mouth. She expected a fight. She expected yelling. She expected me to grab the brochure and demand a discussion. Instead, the silence between us grew deeper, heavier. She shifted her weight, crossing her arms. "You're not saying anything else?" she asked. "What do you want me to say?" I replied. She opened her mouth, but nothing came out. She looked lost for a second, then defensive. "I told you before that motherhood scares me. I told you I wasn't ready." "You told me you were unsure," I said, not finished. She turned her head, refusing my eyes. "It's my body." "And I said your decision," I replied again. She flinched at how calm I sounded. Calm wasn't acceptance. Calm was distance. Calm was me stepping back from a line she crossed without warning. She pulled out a chair and sat. Her fingers traced a circle on the table. "Why aren't you angry?" "Because anger won't change what you already chose." Her eyes snapped up. "I didn't choose without reason." "I never said you didn't have reasons," I said. "I'm saying you didn't include me." She pushed the brochure toward me. "You knew I struggled. You knew I feared becoming like my mother. You knew I felt pressure." "I didn't pressure you," I said. "You didn't have to. Everyone else did." I leaned back in my chair, and instead of talking to me, you talked to yourself until the decision felt final. She gripped the edge of the table, knuckles white. I couldn't keep waiting. I needed control. I needed closure. "You needed secrecy," I said, her face flushed. "No, I needed time." "Time and secrecy aren't the same." She stood abruptly, pushing the chair back. "So now you're punishing me with silence?" "I'm giving you the same courtesy you gave me," I said. "Space." Her breath hitched. "You're twisting this." "No," I said. "I'm understanding it." She paced the kitchen, rubbing her arms. "I thought you'd support me." "You didn't give me space to support you," I said. "You handed me a decision already complete." "It's my body," she said again, softer this time. "And I respected that," I replied. "But this marriage is ours, and you made a choice that affects both of us," without letting me into the room. She turned, finally meeting my eyes. "So what now? You leave?" "I didn't say that." "You implied it," she whispered. "No," I said. "You're hearing your own fear, not my words." She sank onto the couch, shoulders slumped. I didn't think you wanted kids as much as you said. I wanted the choice with you, I said. Not for you. She wiped her face quickly, as if tears might make her look weaker. I thought if I told you before scheduling it, you would talk me out of it. I was afraid of changing my mind and disappointing myself. So you removed me from the equation? She nodded slowly. Yes. I inhaled deeply. Then understand this. When you decided alone, you built a future alone. I'm standing outside that choice, trying to see where I fit. Her breathing faltered. You fit here, with me. Nothing else changed. Everything changed, I said. You closed a door without asking if I was still inside the room. She looked at the brochure again as if it suddenly weighed more. I didn't expect you to feel replaced. It isn't about being replaced, I said. It's about trust, communication, partnership. She covered her mouth with her hand. Guilt washed over her face like a realization she never prepared for. I made the wrong choice, not the surgery, the secrecy. Yes, I said. She whispered something so soft I almost missed it. Do you still love me? I didn't answer. Not yet. Because love wasn't the question. Love was still there, painful and loud. The real question was trust. She stepped toward me slowly, like each step might break the floor. Tell me what you're thinking, please. I can't handle silence. I'm thinking about our marriage and, I said, about how many decisions you've been making alone, about how long you've been drifting without telling me why. She swallowed hard. I didn't drift from you. I drifted from myself. And now? I asked. She reached out, fingers trembling. Now I want to rebuild with you. But I don't know where to start. I looked at her hand hovering inches from mine. We start, I said, by talking about everything you didn't say before today. Her breath shuddered, full of fear and relief. I'm listening, I said, and she finally began to speak. Some truths don't break your heart. They drain you in one sentence. She stood in front of me with her hand still hovering in the air, waiting for permission to speak, waiting for a chance she knew she had nearly thrown away. I didn't take her hand, but I didn't walk out. I held her in place with my silence, giving her the opening she should have given me weeks ago. She lowered her hand slowly. I didn't tell you because I didn't trust myself to say the right words, she said. I felt pressure from everyone. Friends, family, co-workers. Every conversation felt like someone was waiting for news about kids. I felt boxed in. You never told me any of that, I said. I didn't want you to think I hated the idea of a family, she replied. I don't hate it. I fear it. I fear losing myself. I fear losing control. My mother spent her life drowning in duties she never wanted. She blamed her kids for her sadness. I grew up watching that. So you thought motherhood would trap you? I said. She nodded. Yes. And the fear kept growing. I started waking up with panic. I felt tight all day. I felt my body tense every time someone mentioned children. I knew I needed to take control of the fear before it crushed me. So you chose surgery. She sat on the couch, rubbing her palms against her knees. I didn't choose it overnight. I booked the appointment after weeks of crying in the shower before work. I booked it after waking up 3 times a night with anxiety. I booked it because I didn't want to carry fear into my 30s. And you kept me out of that pain, I said. Her voice broke. Yes, I did, because I didn't want you to carry it with me. I wanted to fix myself first. I thought removing the fear would protect our marriage. It nearly destroyed it. She dropped her head. I know. A long, quiet stretch filled the room as she tried to gather courage. Her voice softened. There's more. I didn't only fear children. I feared disappointing you. I thought if I told you early, you'd look at me with sadness, or anger, or worse, regret. I wouldn't have regretted you, I said. You say that now, she whispered. But what about years from now? What if you wished you had a different partner? Someone who gave you something I never wanted? I panicked. I convinced myself surgery would make everything simple, no questions, no pressure, no fear. And now? I asked. She wiped her cheek. Now I see the damage. I see how one choice without you feels like betrayal. She leaned back, exhausted. I didn't want to be a mother, but I did want to be your partner. I thought those two things couldn't live in the same space. So I chose one. Alone. I sat across from her. You didn't give me the chance to walk beside you in your fears. You chose isolation over support. I did, she said, because I didn't want to feel weak. You weren't weak, I said. You were alone. She pressed her hand over her mouth as another wave of guilt hit her. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't see how much I pushed you out until today. I nodded slowly. I needed honesty before choices, not after. She took a breath. Then let me be honest now. I'm scared of losing you more than anything else. I messed up. But I don't want you gone. That depends on what happens next, I said. She stiffened. What do you mean? You told me your fear, I said. Now tell me your truth. Do you want this marriage to stay whole? Or do you want freedom from all expectations? Her eyes widened. I want you. I want us. I want safety. I want a life with you. I didn't choose surgery to escape our relationship. I chose it to escape fear. But I see now that hiding fear only made it stronger. I stood and walked toward the window. She watched me with worried eyes. You made a choice about your future, I said. Now I need to decide mine. Her breath hitched. Please, don't say you're leaving. I'm not leaving today, I said, but I need clarity. I need to know if you trust me enough to let me in the next time you break. Because marriage isn't built on perfect days. It's built on hard ones. She rose from the couch slowly. I want to trust you again. I want to reach for you. I want to share everything I hid. I want you beside me. Then talk, I said. Keep talking. She moved closer, stopping a short distance away. I didn't only fear motherhood. I feared becoming someone who depended on others. I feared leaning on you too much. My mother leaned on my father for everything. When he left, she fell apart. I promised myself I would never end up like her. So independence meant secrecy, I said. Yes, she whispered. But I took it too far. I turned independence into isolation. I shut you out to protect myself. And instead you broke us. Her voice shook. Can we fix it? I didn't answer right away. She watched my face, searching for hope. We fix it, I said slowly, if we build a new path. One without secrets. One where you come to me before you decide something that changes both of us. She nodded, tears sliding down her cheeks. I promise. No more hiding. I stepped closer. She didn't move, afraid to push her luck. We talked to a counselor, I said. Together, and you go alone too. Not because you're broken, but because fear needs structure. I'll go, she said. I'll do whatever helps us. And you tell the doctor you want to postpone the surgery. Her breath caught. Postpone? Yes. Until we talk. Until we heal. Until this choice comes from trust, not fear. She nodded slowly, relief spreading through her posture. I'll call them tomorrow morning. I won't go behind your back again. I held her eyes. Good. She took one slow step forward. Can I hold your hand? I let her reach for me this time. Her fingers touched mine, hesitant but honest. This wasn't forgiveness. This was the first step toward it. Some truths don't break your heart. They drain you in one sentence. She held my hand like she feared it might slip away if she blinked. Her grip was gentle, trembling, full of questions she didn't dare speak aloud. I felt the weight of her fear travel through her fingers into mine. It wasn't only fear of losing me. It was fear of facing herself without the shield of secrecy she used for so long. I didn't pull away. But I didn't pull her closer either. She looked up slowly. "Thank you for not walking out." "I stayed because I need the whole truth," I said. "We can't rebuild on half stories." Her throat tightened. "I'll tell you everything." I released her hand and sat on the couch. She sat beside me but left a small space, sensing I needed room. Her posture hunched slightly, like she was bracing for another wave of accountability. "Start where you left off," I said. She nodded and pulled her knees up. "I didn't grow up with love. I grew up with survival. My mother taught me fear. My father taught me distance. I never saw a healthy bond. I never saw two people choosing each other daily. So when you gave me stability, I didn't know how to hold it." I listened without interrupting. Her voice softened. "You made me feel safe. Safe felt foreign. Foreign felt risky. I kept waiting for the moment you'd stop choosing me. I kept thinking if I took control of my life before you left, I wouldn't fall apart like my mother did." "I wasn't leaving," I said. "I know that now," she whispered. "But fear makes lies feel real. Fear made me see danger where there was none." She looked down at her hands. "I felt pressure from everyone but you. You never pushed me. You gave me time. But the more patience you showed, the more guilty I felt. Guilt turned into fear. Fear turned into action." "So you acted alone," I said. "Yes," she said. "I wanted to feel strong. I wanted to prove I wasn't trapped. I wanted control of my story. But I didn't see the cost until you looked at that brochure." Silence settled again. Heavy, but honest, she continued. "Before I booked the surgery, I talked myself in circles. I told myself this was the only way to stop panic. I told myself I was protecting our future from resentment. I thought if I removed the pressure, we would both feel free. And now?" I asked. "Now I see I removed choice," she said. "Choice belongs to both of us. You deserved my trust. You deserved the chance to hold my fear with me." Her voice cracked. "You deserved honesty." I let her words sink in before speaking. "You changed our future without letting me stand beside you." "I know," she said. "And I'm sorry. I'm more sorry than I know how to express. I don't want to lose what we have. Not because of fear, not because of silence." I leaned forward, elbows on my knees. Trust needs truth. Trust needs partnership. Trust needs two people willing to stand in discomfort together. She nodded, wiping her cheek quickly. "I'm ready for discomfort. I'm ready for hard conversations. I'm ready to learn how to talk before I break." I turned toward her. "Do you want a family someday?" "Not now, not soon. Someday." Her breath caught. "I don't know yet. I'm not sure, but I know I don't want to remove the option out of fear. I want to decide from strength, not panic. That's why we slow down," I said. She swallowed. "That's why I'll call the clinic tomorrow." "Good." She inched a little closer. "Can you forgive me?" "Not today," I said, "but I'm not closing the door." Her eyes filled with soft relief. "I don't need instant forgiveness. I need the chance to earn it." "You have that chance," I said. "One, but you have it." A small breath escaped her as if she had been holding air in her lungs for weeks. She placed a hand gently on my forearm. "I want to rebuild trust, step by step, with openness. Then we start with honesty," I said. "All of it." She nodded. "Ask me anything." "Do you regret booking the surgery?" I asked. She took a long moment before answering. I regret doing it alone. I regret the secrecy. I regret shutting you out. The surgery itself wasn't the betrayal. The silence was. Her clarity hit deeper than excuses ever could. And do you regret telling me today? I asked. Yes, she said softly, because I hurt you, but I'm also relieved, because carrying this alone was tearing me apart. I studied her face, shame, hope, fear, love, all mixed into one expression. We move forward, I said, if you stay honest even when honesty feels dangerous. I will, she said. I give you my word. I sat back. We'll see a counselor together, and you see one alone. You need support for the fear you carried all these years. I'll schedule both, she said. No hiding, no secret plans. I nodded. Good. She hesitated. Can I ask you something? Go ahead. Do you still see a life with me after today? I didn't answer fast. She looked terrified of what I might say. Yes, I said finally, but it's a new life, a new foundation, a new version of us. Her shoulders dropped in relief. I want that version. I want us strong. I want connection. I want trust. Then earn it, I said. Every day. She moved closer, very slowly, as if each inch required permission. When her shoulder touched mine, she paused. Can I stay here with you tonight? She whispered. Yes, I said, stay. She leaned her head gently against my shoulder. Her breathing steadied. Her hand rested lightly on my arm. I didn't hold her. Not yet. But I didn't pull away. This moment was small, but beginnings often are. She whispered one last sentence before we fell into quiet. I'm done living in fear. I want to live in truth with you. For the first time that day, I believed her. Thank you for watching this story through. A new emotional journey waits in the next episode. For early access to bonus stories, check the free download linked through the channel.